The Chaotic Touch of Harmony. By Law-Abiding Pony. Poster's note. Some of the chapters in this story have some graphic sex scenes. For those chapters I will be putting out 2 versions. One edited and one unedited. End poster's note. Prologue. Discord, the spirit of chaos, streaked through the air on ice skis while peering down at Equestria below. It had been a year since his reformation with the help of Fluttershy, and as much as he originally thought it would never happen, he learned the value of harmony. Many would call that a paradox, but it was not so in his not quite sane mind. After watching the ponies from a distance throughout the year, he spiced up life for those who were too set in their ways to have fun, as he called it. Turning a guard pony's armor into lint one day, and replacing an ornery old stallion's dentures with 2 lines of chewing gum and candy corn the next. However, it is the nature of chaos to want to do a little more than to just do small tricks all the time. So it was, during one of his rare moments of deep thought as he skied through the empty skies, that he thought of a way to entertain himself. All these ponies are a rather fun lot when you throw them a curve bat every now and then, but I feel like something's missing. A second discord popped into being in front of him, skating backwards. Quite so. We should stretch that old muscle and broaden our scope. The first Draconequus sounded interested. An excellent idea, me. The second presented an open palm and a different world popped into view. Ah, my one and only distance world viewer, let's have a spin, shall we? The first discord used a cloud as a ramp and vaulted it, while the second discord threw the distance world viewer up high so the first could swat the viewer with one of his ski poles. Instead of being sent off in the distance, the viewer dropped like a stone onto the second's horn. The planets presented flickered wildly until settling onto one that was a blue, white, green, brown. What stood out as strange about this one is that it had glowing patches of reds and oranges. The second discord looked on with disapproval. Why, it looks like it's already inhabited. The first discord landed with a somersault and a crowd of flying cutlery cheered on in approval. He gazed upon the multicolored marble, able to see the inhabitants below. Some sort of hair and hornless minotaurs and rather strange horny red ones. What fantastically odd creatures. A shame about the genocidal war they seem to be waging. Care for another spin, me? The discord holding the viewer paused in a moment of thought. I think the war is rather, how would Miss Rarity put it? Uncouth, the other offered. Yes, that's it. After all, if these furless minotaurs and red things kill themselves off, then they'll just leave behind a lifeless dust ball of a planet. How annoyingly dull, they said in unison with matching frowns. The first discord pondered for a few moments. I have an idea. He reached for the viewer and spun his claw in a counterclockwise direction. Let's spin the clock back a ways. The orange and reds faded until the planet was a majestic blue marble. If these ponies are good at anything, it's keeping things harmonious. I agree with me. The second acknowledged. After all, so long as there is life, there is always room for more chaos in the universe. So, what to do? We could always send the element bearers there. I'm sure they'd have a fun time. As delightful as that would be, the second agreed. We'd never hear the end of it from that old bat Sully. Perhaps some copies of the elements. The second shook his head. As entertaining as it would be to watch, I say we turn some of the warmongers into ponies instead and see just how deep-rooted this whole harmony business is to them. The first chuckled. Marvelous, but why stop there? I say we up the ante. Both Draconequus stopped moving and the first one conjured a glass bowl filled with pieces of paper and a spinboard with 6 sections. 2 for each tribe of pony, with the pairs split between stallions and mares. The second moved over to the spinboard. What a delightfully chaotic lottery! Who will be our first contestant? The second discord rummaged in the bowl and pulled a piece of paper to read it. James Toon. Spin the wheel to see what he's won. The first grabbed one of the pegs and gave the wheel a strong pull. Both discords looked on in anticipation as the pointer clicked noisily until the wheel finally stopped on a slice. They both gave a hearty chuckle and spoke in unison. Big winner.